Hey everybody, this is Bill from GMAT and GRE again. Today we're going to be doing the GMAT questions on this live. So let's get started with the questions that were posed on Tuesday. So I'll put up GMAT, put up here, and I'll read the question to you because it's a word question. It says 3 children, Sharon, Carol, and Eleanor, agreed to divide a batch of cookies in the ratio 3, 5, and 7, respectively. If Sharon's batch was 15 cookies, how many cookies were in that batch? Now, what I'll do here is I like to make a little matrix to let me know what's going on. So we found out that the ratio is 3 to 5 to 7, depending on Sharon, Carol, and Eleanor. So let's make a little grid here. Let's see, all the way over here. We have Sharon, Carol, Eleanor, and we'll call this one total. So down here. Okay, bam. Now we know that the ratio, we'll put the ratio on top, make it easier for you, is 3, 5, and 7. So we'll cross that over here, and when we add these all up together, this would be 15, right? Hence, there was 15, cookies that she got, Sharon, which will be down here. Let's cross. Let's put actual. We'll put this called actual. I won't say real. Bam. And we know that hers was 15. So now if the ratio that she got was 15, that means that the multiplier that we have here would be this divided by this. Since that's the only information that we got, we will go through and this will be 5. We'll call this the multiplier. So now this will be the same going through all over here. Okay? So the multiplier is 5, 5, and we'll go from there. And it's still 5. Okay? So now we have 5 times 5 is 25, 7 times 5 is 35, and then when you add these all up, this should equal this times this. So 5 times 15 is 75. Let's double check this, make sure this fills out right here. 35 plus 25 is 60, plus 15 is 75. So there we go, we have all the information we need to fill out. So the question is, how many cookies were in that batch? When you hit the crossroads between the total and the actual, 75 will be your answer, which is the second answer. Okay? Let's go on to the second one. Number 2. A company consists of 2 departments, sales and production. If 30% of the 150 employees in the sales department to receive a holiday bonus and 70% of the 250 employees in the production department receive a holiday bonus, which percent of all employees did not receive a holiday bonus? So what we're going to do is we're going to put people in a matrix like we did before with bonus, no bonus, and we'll go from here. So let's see, we have, you said, let's do a big one. Let's see, let's do one big one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have bonus, no bonus. Okay, and we have the total here. Same with over here, total. And for here we have the 2 sections or departments. We have sales and production. Excuse my horrible handwriting. Okay, so now we have if 30% of the 100 employees on the sales department receive a holiday bonus for that one. So 30% will be 30% of the 150, which we know down here is 150, because that's what we have, that's 30%. This means that 70% of the people did not get a bonus. So what we can do here is, when I'm done here, I'm going to multiply 30% times 40 times 150, and we'll get a total number of 45 people out of the 150 that they got it. Now, in order to do quick math, 150 times minus 45 gives us 105, or 70% of the people in sales did not get a bonus. So let's move on to production. Production said they got 70% of the 250 employees. So from here, we can see that there's 250 here, 70% got it, and 30% did not. So we take this, multiply it by the 70%, and when we do that, we get ourselves 175. And so when you do that, it leaves 250 minus 175, which would be 75. So now when you add all the totals up, they should equal to what this is. So 150 plus 250 is 400. And this should equal, this is 220, and this is 180. So 220 plus 180 does equal 400, and of course 150 plus 250 equals 400. Great, we got all the information we get there. Doesn't mean that we're done. It means that we still got the answer of the actual question. So the question actually is, what percent of all employees did not receive a holiday bonus? So we're looking at this right here. Which amount here? Now we can see that we have a total of 180 people that got no bonus. No bonus. Okay? Now we see out of the total is 400. You could divide 180 by 400, and that'll give you 0.45 if you are on a calculator, because you will have one. Or if you want to go move it over, it'll be 45%, which is the second answer. Okay? So that's the second question's answer, and how to go through it. Now the third one's a little bit more tricky because it doesn't deal with anything that deals with equations and trying to figure things out. It's all about data sufficiency. Now in this case, when you go and get these ones, they're the harder ones, where they give you only these options. They give you the data sufficiency, they give you 5 options. They give one, that the first equation is sufficient and the second one is not. The second option that they give you is that the second answer they give you is sufficient, but the first one is not. And the third one, they say that both 1 and 2 that they gave you are not together. They are not. They don't suffice separately, but when you add them together, they suffice and they answer the question. They also have, both of them do suffice the answer to the question, so they both are right. Or you have both 1, 2, or 1 and 2 are not sufficient. So pretty much none will work, no matter what it is, even if you add them together. So in this case, we have a question that says, number 3, what is the ratio of A to B? So for number 1, they give us, there's also 2. For number 1, they give us A equals B plus 7. And for 2, they have 3A equals 4B. Okay? So in order for this to work, we would make sure that we go and figure out, can we get a ratio out of number 1? Out of 1, you say no, because right now it's not comparing anything, and you see this plus 7 is what's really jacking it up. Because if I bring this down and I say A equals, let's say 9, and B equals, A equals 9, and B equals 2, that would work, right? Boom. 9 would be 9 equals 7, well, 2 plus 7 equals 9. That works. But what if I wanted to go through and do, or A equals 8, B equals 1, or A equals 10, B equals 3. Same difference. It's all going to lead up to it all matching up. So A, we can immediately cross out and say, no, that does not work. So now we can go through and try number 2. Because right now it's not even in the form of ratio. But in this case, we can see that 3 times A equals 4 times B. Now, remember before when we had the cross multiplication? Here's a way we can do it as well. In order to get 3 times A, you have to have 4 over 3 equals A times B. So when you cross multiply, you'll see that 4/3 is our answer. So number 2 will be correct. Now, you can't, since one doesn't work and the other does work, you don't need to go any further. Because if you have right here, part of your answers is one does work, one doesn't work. So once you find out that one works and one doesn't work, that's it right there. And you have option 2, which says that number 2 option is sufficient. But option 1, let's go down here, number 1 is not. So this will be your answer right here. And this will be the proof. Because 4/3 is the ratio for this. So I know GMAT ones are a little bit trickier than GRE, but if you'd like to go through and do some more, I'll be doing these each week. I'll also be starting to meet up for GMAT as well soon, and also making sure that you go to our website, GMAT and GRE mathematicallysimple.com. Until next week, when I'll put some more questions up, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.